so in our previous lesson, we studied the how to solve a quadratic equation by using a completing square method. ठीक हो गया? अब हमने सारे methods देख लिए. Now let's move on to the next thing, that how to solve the two equations simultaneously. So before we jump to that, first thing, I did discuss this before, but let's just do it now. First of all, why do we even need to solve the two equations simultaneously? For example, if I have x plus y is equals to 6. If I ask you to give me the solution of this equation, means the values of x and the value of y, then there are going to be infinite solutions to this equation. ठीक हो गया? Infinite solutions. आपके x की भी बहुत सारी values होंगी और बहुत सारी y की values होंगी. But at the same time, if I give you a little bit more information, give me the two numbers, when added they should give you 6, and this very two same numbers when subtracted they should give you 2. Then there is one value of x and then there is one value of y. What is it?
4 and 2.
4 and 2. Now what your brain has done over here, your brain has solved the two equations simultaneously, keeping both the conditions together, and gave the solution of this equation as x equals 4 and y is equals to 2. Okay, now this was a very basic problem of a simultaneous equation. Even if someone does not know that how to solve a pair of simultaneous equation, even just by doing a little bit of thinking, they can tell the solution for this problem. Now let's look into the problems which are going to be a little bit more complex. Okay, और उसमें देखते हैं होंगे simultaneous equation ऐसी ही होंगी जिसमें दो variables होंगे. There are going to be two variables. So remember the rule of solving equation. There should be only one variable. When there are two variables, you need two equations. When there are three variables, you need three equations. And when there are four different variables, how many equations do you need? Four equations in order to solve them. आप लोगों के सिलेबस में जो टॉपिक है simultaneous equation, उसमें तो दो ही वेरिएबल्स आते हैं, बट देयर इज अ प्लेस इन योर सिलेबस जहां पे आपकी वन टू थ्री फोर फोर इक्वेशंस बनेंगी और आपने उनको साइमल्टेनियसली सॉल्व करना होगा. सो इन ऑर्डर टू डू दैट इन अ वेरी गुड वे, you need to know how to solve a pair of simultaneous equations first, and then you also need to know why is it a pair. In a pair, why there are two equations are there. So let's just do this now first. अच्छा, इसमें हम पहले मैं आपको इसके नोट्स लिखवा देता हूँ, फिर आगे हम चलेंगे. Two methods: elimination, and then there is substitution. Elimination is a very simple one. ठीक हो गया? In order to eliminate one variable, so what do you need to do is make sure इसमें जो key point है elimination में, variable with same coefficient and opposite sign. This is the target, initial target. We need to have a variable in a pair of two equations who have same coefficients but opposite signs. So for example, if in one of the equation I have 3y, in the other equation I must have negative 3y, opposite signs. Okay. For example, if in one of the equations I have 5 over 2x, in other equation I must have negative 5 over 2x. So this is the first target. Once you have achieved this target, simply add the two equations. Add the two equations. Next is substitution method. In a substitution method, any equation, any variable. Just pick any equation and then pick any variable out of it. Make it a subject whatever variable you chose from a particular equation, make that variable the subject of that equation. ठीक हो गया? Then substitute into other equation. So these notes will make more sense after solving few problems by following these. Okay, so let's just jump to the problems. I'm going to open right. Here we have a pair of simultaneous equation. ठीक है, examiner is asking you to solve it. ठीक हो गया? जब आपने इसको solve करना है, let's do it with elimination first. Now, in elimination method, I told you that what is our target, the initial target. Initial target is to have a variable in both the equations which have same coefficient but opposite sign. Now, if you analyze this pair of simultaneous equation, variable x in the first one is the coefficient is 2. Variable x in the second equation, it has a coefficient of 1. Variable y in the first one has a coefficient of 3. Variable y in the second one has a coefficient of 2. ठीक हो गया? Now what we need to do is make the variable same and the signs opposite. Now it is your choice. आप y के वेरिएबल y के कोफिशिएंट को सेम बनाना चाहते हैं या आप x के कोफिशिएंट को सेम बनाना चाहते हैं. That you need to decide. Now definitely you will choose a shorter path. Now if you look carefully, 3 और 2 का या तो मुझे कॉमन मल्टीपल देखना होगा. 3 और 2 का या तो मुझे कॉमन मल्टीपल देखना होगा. For example, if I want to make the coefficient of y same in both equations, तो 3 और 2 का या तो कॉमन मल्टीपल देखेंगे. What is a common multiple of 3 and 2 both? 6. Either multiply both equations with 6. No, not 6. आपने sorry, 3 और 2 का कॉमन मल्टीपल क्या है? 6. Now इधर आपको 6 चाहिए. How would you make this 3 as 6? By multiplying it with 2. And how would you make this 2 as 6? So in this, if I want to make the coefficient of y same, I need to multiply the first equation with 2, and I need to multiply the second equation with 3. Have a look at, if I want to make the coefficients of x same, I will only multiply the second equation with 2. तो कौन सा आसान है? y के कोफिशिएंट्स को सेम बनाना आसान है या x के कोफिशिएंट्स को सेम बनाना आसान है? x के कोफिशिएंट्स. So choose a shorter path. Okay? यहाँ तक बात clear है? Is it clear up till here? Let me elaborate this again. If I want to make the coefficients of y same, so I need 6 because 6 is the common multiple of 2 and 3. In order to make this 3 as 6, I'll need to multiply this entire equation with 2 so that this becomes 6. And this entire equation with 3 so that it becomes 6. Okay. In order to make the coefficient of x same, this is 2. All I have to do is multiply the second equation with 2 only so that I have 2 here. So if I want, so which path is easier over here? Making the coefficient of x से. अच्छा, अब एक बात तो हमें पता चल गई. What are we going to do? Complete target recall करें. Same coefficient. आज second part क्या था statement का? Read out. लिखा था आपने. Opposite signs. So this is +2. इधर मैं 2 से तो मल्टीप्लाई करूंगा, बट मुझे -2 चाहिए इधर. Opposite signs भी. So isn't it better if I multiply this entire equation with -2? So what I'm going to do is I'll multiply this entire equation with -2. Now this is going to result in -2x, and then plus minus is minus. This is going to give me -4y equals -18. Next is, okay, now I'm going to write down the first equation as it is underneath it. The first equation as it is underneath it. So plus 2x plus 3y equals 13. Now, the reason I wanted same coefficients and opposite sign, the second step was to add the two equations. Once I have the same coefficient and the opposite sign, I will be adding the two equations. So left hand side of the equations आपस में add होंगे, right hand side आपस में. So plus 2x and minus 2x, if I add them up, eliminate it. So that was the core purpose of having the same coefficient and opposite sign, so that I can eliminate that particular variable. So once I have that variable eliminated, minus 4 plus 3 is going to give you minus y or plus y? Minus y. Minus 18 and plus 13 is going to give you minus y. So basically y is equals to y. You have solved for y. Solving simultaneous equation means you need to give the value of x and the value of y. I have the value of y. Now I need the value of x. You can use this value of y and substitute in either of these two original equations. So you can use either of these two. I would go for equation 2 because I need to find out the value of x, and I see that x has a coefficient of 1 and it is going to be simpler. So put y equals 5 in, this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. In equation 2. So x plus 2 into 5 equals 9. X equals to 9 minus 10. X equals -1. ठीक हो गया. अच्छा, साइमल्टेनियस इक्वेशंस तो सॉल्व कर ली. एक चीज याद रखें, अगर साइमल्टेनियस इक्वेशंस का क्वेश्चन है तो आपको आंसर स्पेस में x इज इक्वल्स टू y इज इक्वल्स टू दिया हुआ होगा. तो आपने x में क्या लिखना होगा? -1 एंड y में, और सेम क्वेश्चन. Okay, now what is the graphical meaning of solving the two equations simultaneously? Anyone who would like to tell me the graphical meaning of this? Was algebraic. So these two values have the common x as -1 and y. These two equations. ये तो algebraic meaning आ गया. What is the graphical meaning of solving the two equations simultaneously in terms of coordinate geometry or in terms of graph? Anyone? मुझे ये बताएं, ये इक्वेशन कौन सी टाइप की है? What type of equation is it? Linear. Linear equation, what type of graph does it give you? What type of graph you obtain from a linear equation? Straight line. So let's suppose this is the graph of equation 1. Suppose. Okay. So what type of equation do you have? The second equation. What type of equation is the second one? Also linear. That is also going to give you a straight line. Let's suppose this is it, for example. Now, solving the two equations simultaneously, the graphical meaning of it is that both the lines are intersecting at x equals -1 and y equals 5. That intersection point has this particular address, -1 and 5. -1 and 5. यहाँ तक क्लियर है? ठीक है? मेहरमा,
जी.
ये क्लियर है? ग्राफिकल मीनिंग?
Yeah.
ओके. ग्राफिकल मीनिंग इसलिए डिस्कस किया है क्योंकि ये आगे यूज होगा. खैर, अगर क्वेश्चन सिर्फ है कि सॉल्व द टू इक्वेशंस साइमल्टेनियसली, so this is how you're supposed to do. So I have done this question using the elimination method. Now let's solve the very same question by using substitution method. ये लिख लिया या erase? अभी लिख रहे हैं? Should I erase this? Anyone who is still writing it? I'll keep the solution here. Okay. Substitution method के notes पे जाते हैं जी. Substitution. Pick any equation. Pick any equation, any variable. start करते हैं. बताएं जी. Which equation should I pick and which variable should I pick? मुझे ये बताएंगी आयशा.
I think we should pick the first equation.
And which variable out of it?
I'm not sure.
Just go for any random. It's totally your choice. X or Y. Pick any equation, any variable. Okay, Marvin. Which variable from first equation? Is it
Yes, sir.
any equation, any variable?
Sir, equation 2, variable x.
Equation 2 and variable. Okay, I think we should stick to the equation 1 because Aisha told equation 1, pick a variable from there. I know why you're saying equation 2 and variable x. We'll talk about it later on. Equation 1, variable
X.
x. Okay. So this is where you start off. Pick any equation, any variable. So whatever equation you chose and that variable, make it a subject of the equation. So equation x from, sorry, variable x from equation 1. So let's declare from equation 1, 2x equals 13 minus 3y, x equals 13 minus 3y over 2. ठीक हो गया यहाँ तक clear है? Let's call it as equation 3. Let's call this one as equation 3 where I have x, the subject of the equation. Acha, now we are doing substitution method, remember? Substitution method. Next part. Substitute into other equation. Okay, this came from, what was the origin of this equation? If I ask you a question, where did I get this equation from? Which equation? Equation 1 or equation 2? Equation 1. Remember this. So its parent equation was equation 1. Forget about this. We need to substitute the value of x into equation 2. Now this is the rule here. Earlier you had the liberty to go for any equation, any variable. Okay? You had the liberty to choose any equation, any variable. So you chose equation 1 and variable x out of it. Okay, so once you chose that, make x the subject. Once I have made x the subject, now I need to substitute the value of x into another equation. Now the rule here is you cannot substitute back into the parent equation. Okay? All right, that's all. That's all you need to be careful about. Now, next is I'm going to replace this x. यहाँ पे लिख देते हैं. Put or substitute equation 3 in equation 2 now. Okay. तो equation 2 में x की जगह मैं क्या पुट करूंगा बेटा? x की वैल्यू क्या है? 13 minus 3y over 2. ठीक हो गया? ये आ गया आपके पास x की जगह 13 minus 3y over 2 because this is the value of x. आगे बाकी सारी चीजें यहाँ से आ जाएगी. Plus 2y is equals to 9. Now if you have a good look at it, this is an equation in one variable. All you have to do is make y the subject. ठीक हो गया? अच्छा, multiply the entire equation with 2 in order to get rid of this denominator. इस टर्म के साथ जब 2 मल्टीप्लाई होगा तो कैंसिल आउट, सो आई विल बी जस्ट लेफ्ट विद 13 माइनस 3y। 2 अंदर नहीं मल्टीप्लाई करना क्योंकि 2 इससे कैंसिल आउट हो गया। नेक्स्ट, when I will multiply the 2 with this term, I will get 4y. 2 with this term, and I'm going to get 18. 4y minus 3y is just y, and y is equals to 18 minus 13, and from there y is equals to 5. The value of y is 5. Now substitute this value of 5 into either in equation 1 or 2 or in equation 3. The best way is to go for equation 3 because we are about to find the value of x, and equation 3 is already an equation for x. So put y equals 5 in equation 3. You can put in any equation of your choice, but this is the smart choice. So x equals 13 minus 3 into 5 over 2. X equals 13 minus 15 कितना होगा? 13 minus 15 minus 2, which is equals to -1. यहाँ तक clear है? So this is how I solve a pair of simultaneous equation using a substitution method. Okay, now talking about the smart choice. Although you have the liberty to go for any equation, any variable. Now remember the process. Once you practice this, you know the process. The way isn't chose. I hope isn't that's why you chose the x from the equation 2. We know that whatever equation we choose and whatever variable we choose, we need to make that variable the subject of that equation. Now I asked randomly that, okay, now Aisha asked me to go for equation 1, fine. And then we decided to go for variable x from equation 1. We were able to achieve the answer, but try to keep the things simple. I'm not saying this is wrong. This is perfectly fine. Okay. Talking in context of examination, you need to make smart choices. Now, you should know, in order to make smart choices, you should know what you're going to do ahead. Like, okay, you should know what steps are you going to take. Now, once I choose a variable and an equation, I should know that I'm going to make that variable the subject. Now, this x is the subject, but this is a fractional. Now, if I make this x the subject, it is going to give me a very simple thing, 9 minus 2y. That's it. 9 minus 2y. तो प्लस 2y हो जाए तो वो आपका x सब्जेक्ट बन गया. तो आपके इक्वेशन 2 में x को चूज करेंगे, यहाँ से x को सब्जेक्ट बनाएंगे, then substitute that into equation 1. So this is how you do. Now talking about IGCSE students specifically now. ये था आपका O levels and IGCSE both. 4024 and 0580 both. Now जितनी देर में IGCSE वालों को मैं बात बताता हूँ. 4024 वाले स्टूडेंट्स काइंडली ये क्वेश्चन लिखें और इसको सॉल्व करना स्टार्ट कर दें. नो IGS 0580 जो 4024 वाले हैं काइंडली ये क्वेश्चन लिखें जल्दी से. 1/2x minus 8y equals to 1 and x plus 2y is equals to 6 whole 1/2. इसको सॉल्व करना स्टार्ट करें. बिफोर आई प्रोसीड फर्दर, चले पहले ये लिख लें. हाँ जी मरियम, लिख लिया बेटे? मरियम
Yes, sir.
लिख लिया. चले आप लोग इसको सॉल्व करें. और एक सेकंड, सॉल्व करने से पहले आप लोग इसको चेक कर सकते हैं आप अपना आंसर कि ये ठीक है या नहीं. x की वैल्यू -1 और 5, you can plug it into either of these two equation, even do it in your head, you don't need to show it on the paper. इधर x की जगह -1 पुट करेंगे तो ये क्या हो जाएगा -2. y की जगह 5 पुट करेंगे तो ये क्या हो जाएगा 15. तो -2 + 15 13 आता है कि नहीं आता? इसका मतलब है ये ठीक है। दूसरा भी चेक करें, दोनों पेयर चेक करें। x की जगह -1 पुट करें, -1, y की जगह 5 पुट करें, 10, -1 + 10, 9 आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा? सो इट मीन्स कि आपने ठीक किया है। एग्जामिनर का वेट ना करें कि वो आपके पेपर पे क्रॉस लगाए, खुद चेक करें अपना काम। ठीक हो गया? तो यहाँ से साइमल्टेनियस इक्वेशंस की ब्यूटी है दैट यू कैन चेक इफ यू हैव डन इट राइट और रॉन्ग। ओके, चलें 4024 यू कैन कंटिन्यू विद दिस क्वेश्चन। नाउ इस पॉइंट से आगे जो मैं बताने लगा दैट इज स्पेसिफिकली फॉर 0580 स्टूडेंट्स, IGCSE स्टूडेंट्स। In your syllabus you have questions where you are supposed to solve a pair of simultaneous equations in which one is linear and the other one is quadratic. When both are linear, आप elimination method भी use कर सकते हो और substitution method भी use कर सकते हो. But when one is quadratic and the other one is linear, then you can only use substitution method. Elimination method यहाँ पे नहीं चलेगा. सबसे पहले तो ये बात समझनी है आपको. Is this clear? So you cannot use elimination method. Now, if you look at this pair of equations here, the top one, like the first one is quadratic and the second one is linear. Now, for those who do not know, a question, is this how a graph of a quadratic looks like? I'm referring back to the graphical meaning of solving the two equations simultaneously. Earlier, it was both linear equations. Now we have a quadratic equation. So those who even those who know this okay, a question from everyone: is this how a graph of a quadratic looks like? Aisha?
Yes.
Great. Linear equation. So let's draw a random linear equation here. Now, how many intersection points do you see of a curve and a straight line? 2. So that is why 2 different x values and 2 different y values. Okay? Got it. Now let's see how to do that algebraically. Substitution. Remember, what are we doing? Substitution. Now, substitution method may, if you recall, the key target was taking back to the notes. In substitution method, key target was to make subject, make a particular variable of your choice, the subject of the equation. Only then we will be able to substitute into another equation. Now, if you look at this equation, what's a good thing about it? Y is already the subject. So the hard work has been done for you. I don't know why many students find it really hard to make a variable the subject, but in context of students, hard work, half of the job is already done for you. So all you have to do is substitute. Now again, another good thing, y is subject in both of the equations. Now you can put this value of y in here or this value of y in here. It's totally your choice. So let's put this value of y in here. Okay, so substitute equation 1 in equation 2. Okay, there is nothing new we are going to do, only topic का name different हो गया और method restrict हो गया यहाँ पे. Like we don't have options here for the method. We only have one option, which is substitution method. Rest everything is going to stay the same. 5x squared plus 4x. इस y की जगह मैं इसकी y की वैल्यू पुट कर रहा हूँ. 5x squared plus 4x minus 19 is, so this is the replacement of this y, and rest will stay exactly the same. What does it look like? What are we going to have? What does it look like? What are we going to achieve? Where is this leading to?
Quadratic
is an
equation.
infinite quadratic equation. Excellent. So rearrange this. In a quadratic equation, what do we have on the right hand side? When we
0.
solve a quadratic equation, what do we have on the right hand side? 0. So let's move everything to the left. 5x squared plus 4x minus 19 minus 4x minus 1 equals to 0. एक सेकंड कॉल आ गई थी, कैमरा बंद तो नहीं हुआ, चल रहा है? You guys can still see the board?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Great. Oh, another favorable question. What amazing thing do you see here?
4 is cancelling with the 4.
X finish plus 4x and minus 4x. So quadratic equation तो बन गई, but खतरनाक किस्म की 3-term quadratic नहीं है. So how do we solve this type of equation? It is a quadratic, but it belongs to another category of equation as well. What category was it? Equation in one variable. So how do we solve this? Make x the subject. That's it. Simple. Okay? This is equation in one variable. तो कोई quadratic formula, कोई factorization, कोई completing square. We don't have to use the heavy machinery for this because I don't have x squared and x. I have simple one variable quadratic. So make x the subject. 5x squared equals 20, x squared equals 4, and x will be equals to plus minus root of 4 plus and minus root of 4. So what is root of 4? 2. Therefore, I have two different values of x, which is minus 2 and plus 2. यहाँ तक क्लियर है बेटा? दो डिफरेंट वैल्यूज आ गई x की. अब दोनों डिफरेंट वैल्यूज के लिए उनकी रिस्पेक्टिव y वैल्यू निकालनी. रिकॉल द प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन. जब x आ जाता है या y आ जाता है तो फिर दूसरा वेरिएबल कैसे निकालते हैं? By substituting them into either of the two equations. So use any of these two equations. So I'm going to substitute minus 2 first. Which equation should we go for? First or the second one? Second. Smart choice. So for x equals minus 2, y is equals to 4 into minus 2 plus 1. Minus 8 plus 1 is minus 7. Okay. For x is equals to positive 2, y is equals to 4 into 2 plus 1. 4 2s are 8 plus 1, 9. सॉल्व तो हो गया. अब पेयर बनाना है मुझे. यहाँ पे अब एक और मिस्टेक आती है. When x is minus 2, what is y? That's one pair. Do not write in your answer space as minus 2, comma y as 9. क्या आपका y 9 आया हुआ इधर नहीं? That will be wrong. That will be wrong. You need to write the corresponding value of y for whatever value of x you choose. So when x equals negative 2, y is negative 7. So that's one pair. So that is why जब आप इसका ग्राफ बनाएंगे तो -2 और -7 पे इनका इंटरसेक्शन हो रहा होगा. ठीक हो गया? Next, when x is equals to 2, when y is equals to 9, that's another pair. So I have solved. मुश्किल है आसान है. नाम से नहीं डरना इसके कि क्वाड्रेटिक और लीनियर दोनों को साइमल्टेनियसली सॉल्व करना. नो, सिंपल दो मेथड्स हैं, एलिमिनेशन, सब्स्टिट्यूशन. दोनों मेथड में प्रॉब्लम है तो बताएं, वो मैं बार बार बताऊंगा. मेथड वही है, क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन को आपको सॉल्व कराना पहले से आता है. ठीक हो गया? सही है? तो सिर्फ और सिर्फ जब एक लीनियर और एक क्वाड्रेटिक आ जाएगी तो सिर्फ एक चीज याद रखनी है. वी आर ओनली रिस्ट्रिक्टेड टू सब्स्टिट्यूशन मेथड. दैट्स इट. सो try solving this one now. Give it a shot. X equals 7 minus 3y This is one pair, one equation. Another equation is x squared minus y squared equals 39. Six marks का question. X equals 7 minus 3y, x square minus y square equals to 39. Remember, substitution method में पहला टारगेट क्या होता है? सब्जेक्ट बनाना है. कोई ऐसी इक्वेशन है जिसमें आपको पहले से सब्जेक्ट बना हुआ है? This question is in your favor. Go ahead. शाबाश. चलिए जी बच्चे, अब आ जाते हैं 4024. यस, 4024. बताएं जी क्या आंसर है इसमें? कौन शेयर करेगा? नहीं हुआ? मुश्किल था ये 4024. मावीन, हरम, हरम आई. यस आई मीन हरम बेटे.
Yes, sir.
ये मुश्किल था.
जी sir.
अच्छा चलिए अभी आप करते हैं, कोई मसला नहीं. फ्रैक्शंस आ गई हैं, कोई टेंशन नहीं, नंबर्स ही हैं. सो फर्स्ट इक्वेशन से स्टार्ट लेते हैं. 1/2x minus 8y equals to 1. इसमें जो चीज परेशान कर रही है, that is definitely this 2 in the denominator. Get rid of it. In order to get rid of this 2, what should I do with this equation? मरियम,
2 से मल्टीप्लाई.
शाबाश. पूरी इक्वेशन को 2 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दे. तो पूरी इक्वेशन को जब मैं 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करूंगा तो वो 2 और ये 2 कैंसिल, सिर्फ x बच गया. 16 2 1 2. इसको इक्वेशन 1 का नाम दे दे. ठीक हो गया? यहां तक क्लियर है? सेकंड इक्वेशन पे आते हैं. सेकंड इक्वेशन थी x प्लस 2y. अच्छा ये पहले तो मिक्स फ्रैक्शन में लिखा हुआ है, तो 2 6 12, 12 प्लस 1 13/2 आ जाएगा. इधर भी हम यही काम करेंगे, पूरी इक्वेशन को किससे मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे? 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. तो ये क्या हो जाएगा आपके पास? 2x प्लस 4y इज इक्वल टू, इधर जब 2 होगा तो वो 2 और ये 2 कैंसिल, एंड यू विल बी जस्ट लेफ्ट विद 13. दिस इज इक्वेशन 2. हाँ जी, मेथड कौन सा यूज करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे आप? एलिमिनेशन या सब्स्टिट्यूशन? 4024 वालों को मैं रिकमेंड करूंगा वो एलिमिनेशन पे ही स्टिक करें, वो आसान है. सिंपल, आपने एक ही काम करना है. वेरिएबल सेम, किसी भी वेरिएबल का कोफिशिएंट को सेम बनाना है विद ऑपोजिट साइन. कौन सा वेरिएबल के कोफिशिएंट सेम करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे? पहले तो मेथड बताया आपने. सब्स्टिट्यूशन से कोशिश ट्राई किया या एलिमिनेशन से?
एलिमिनेशन.
अच्छा एलिमिनेशन. चलें जी, अब इस पे आ जाए. एक x को एलिमिनेट करें या y को एलिमिनेट करें? y को कर लेते हैं क्योंकि साइंस इसके ऑलरेडी ऑपोजिट है. ठीक है, और मुझे सिर्फ इस इक्वेशन को किसी एक नंबर से मल्टीप्लाई करना है, तो ये 16 बन जाएगा. किससे मल्टीप्लाई करूं इसको? हम्म, इस इक्वेशन को किससे मल्टीप्लाई करें? इस
Four.
वेरिएबल y को 4 से. शाबाश. साइंस तो ऑलरेडी ऑपोजिट है तो उसकी टेंशन नहीं. अगर आप x एलिमिनेट करना चाहते हैं तो आप इक्वेशन 1 को -2 से करेंगे, ताकि ये +2 होगा तो इधर -2 आ जाएगा आपके पास. खैर, हम अभी कर रहे हैं मल्टीप्लाई इक्वेशन 2 विद 4. अच्छा, so that is going to give you 4 2s are 8, 4 4s are 16, 13 times 4, 4 3s are 12, 4 ones are 4 and 1 5. यही आता है। तो ये आ गया आपके पास इक्वेशन 3। इक्वेशन 3 आई इक्वेशन 2 से 16y माइनस 6y, इन दोनों इक्वेशन को ऐड कर देंगे। आपने लिखे ऐड इक्वेशन 1 and equation 3. Okay, so I'm simply going to add them up. Equation 1 is x minus 16y equals 2. Equation 3 is 8x plus 16y equals 52. Eliminate it. You will be left with 9x equals 54. X equals, हाँ जी, कितना आता है? 54 over 9 कितना आएगा? 6. X की वैल्यू आ गई 6. अब आपको y की वैल्यू निकालनी है। इसको इसमें पुट करें, इसमें पुट करें, इसमें करें या इसमें करें, टोटल आपकी चॉइस। 4 इक्वेशन है आपके पास, ठीक हो गया। हम इसमें पुट करते हैं। पुट x equals to 6 in equation 2. So 2 into 6 plus 4y equals 13. So 2 6 are 12, 13 minus 12 is 1. So 4y is equals to 1. Y is equals to 1 by 4. X भी आ गया, Y भी आ गया। क्लियर है बेटा? ये हो रहा बच्चे? हाँ जी, हरम समझ में आया बेटा? हेलो मावीन, हेलो मरियम,
Yes, sir.
समझ में आ गया?
जी sir.
महरमा,
जी सर।
ओके। चलिए एक क्वेश्चन और ट्राई करें। ये तो आसान है, चलिए ये वाला करें। टू एक्स माइनस 7y equals to 2. Then 4x plus 5y equals 42. ओके, IGCSE बताएं जी क्या आंसर आ रहा है इसमें। IGCSE 0580 स्टूडेंट्स would like to share the answer. चलो on it या हो गया? Anyone who's done it is in?
Sir, सही है sir.
Okay. Aisha?
Sir, I did it, but I'm not sure if it's correct.
That's fine, not a problem. What is X?
11.5
Mm-hmm.
and y is 1.5 positive
Okay.
and x is 2.5 and y is negative 1.5.
All right. So let's any other student who's able to do this question? Abdurrahman? Have you? Are you
Sir,
getting the
समझ
same
गया.
answer? Okay, let's solve this. Okay, if you look carefully in equation 1, x is already the subject. So I'm going to substitute equation 1 in equation 2. Substitute equation 1 in equation 2. So x squared minus y squared equals 39. What is the value of x from equation 1, which I need to substitute in here? 7 minus 3y. Now, what does this look like? if a minus b whole square, isn't it? A minus b, expand it. So a squared is 49 minus 2ab minus 42y minus 2ab. ठीक हो गया, इनको मल्टीप्लाई करें 42y आए, ठीक हो गया. दिस इज algebraic identity. Okay, plus b squared plus 9y squared, and then minus y squared minus 39 equals to 0. So I'm obtaining a quadratic equation, so I'm keeping 0 on the right hand side. Okay, so 9y squared minus y squared is 8y squared minus 42y. 49 minus 39 is plus 10 equals to 0. Now you can solve this quadratic equation by using any particular method of your choice. You can go for quadratic formula, you can go for factorization. I would like to go for factorization, but if you have a good look at it, I can simplify this further. So I will divide the entire equation with the 2. Okay, so that is going to leave me with 4y squared minus 21y plus 5. Now it is easier. This is the simplified version. I have divided the entire equation. 0 divided by 2 is going to be 0. So that is why 0 stays as 0. Okay, now I need two numbers. When multiplied, I should get. अब यहाँ पे देखें ये मिड टर्म ब्रेकिंग वाला प्रोसेस आ गया. फर्स्ट टर्म और लास्ट टर्म को मल्टीप्लाई करें क्या आता है? 20y squared, 4y squared and 5. If you multiply these two, so think of the two numbers when multiplied, you should get plus 20y squared. And the sum, if you upon adding the two numbers, you should get minus 21. 20 into 1. So 4y squared minus 20y minus 1y plus 5 equals to 0. 4 common, y minus 5 minus 1 common, y minus 5. Okay? All right, y minus 5 is common. This was 4y. Okay, and then 4y minus 1. Applying zero product property, either y equals to either y minus 5 equals to 0 or 4y minus 1 equals to 0. From here, y is equals to 5, and from here, y is equals to 1 by 4. So I'm going to use both of these values of y and substitute in equation 1 in order to find out the values of x. So x equals 7 minus 3y. लिख लेते हैं यहाँ पे. X equals 7 minus 3y. Put y equals to 5. So for y is equals to 5, x equals to 7 minus 3 into 5. 3 5 is 15. So 7 minus 15 is -8. Okay. And for y equals 1 by 4, x equals 7 minus 3 into 1 by 4. 25 by 4 आंसर आ जाता है इसका. ठीक है, ये आपका आंसर आ गया. तो फिर आपके पास बनता है 25 by 4 कितना आता है? 11 point something. सही बताया था इसमें? नहीं. Okay, x equals, when x is 25 by 4, y is 1 by 4. And when x is -8, y is 5. Clear? Aisha Beti, clear what?
Yes.
Would you like to share the mistake as well? Because it's good to share the mistake. So that
I'm not
everyone
sure
can.
where I did it wrong.
Okay, I would like to see the working if you can WhatsApp me. Okay?
Okay.
चलो ठीक हो गया. I will
Can
be
you use a
sharing all
calculator
of
to
these
directly get the
worksheets.
values of x?
Sorry?
Can you use the calculator to directly get the value of x, or do we need to show the working?
The values of x over here, this part?
Yeah, both of the values of x, because it's a quadratic, so you can use a calculator.
Oh, you're talking about this part. This means the value of
Yeah.
y. Is that what you're saying? Because this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
quadratic. Okay, in your calculator, you have the quadratic mode. Yes, you can use it, but you won't be awarded marks for it. Because yes, you will be only awarded marks if you इससे ज़्यादा short method है अगर आप calculator use करना चाहते हैं आप लिखें in place of this y equals to like the quadratic formula. This is equation in y. So quadratic formula हो जाएगा y equals minus p which is negative 21. नीचे लिखता हूँ y equals minus b plus minus p squared minus 4ac whole divided by 2a. So that's one line after this. उसके बाद आप अपने जो कैलकुलेटर से सॉल्व करेंगे वो लिख लें y is equals to 5 and y is equals to 1 by 4 quadratic mode में जा रहे हैं. Clear?
Okay.
ठीक हो गया जी. I will be posting these worksheets on WhatsApp groups, so you can practice it from there. Tomorrow, inshallah, we will jump to word problems. ठीक है? Okay जी. Take good care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.